Alright, who would like the next misdiagnosis? Ma'am? Astrid. Don't give me this look. It's full of pity, and I don't need it. Those are red eyes. Those are definitely the red eye kind of red eyes. Or darkened capillaries, actually? Or darkened capillaries... Darkened eye capillaries specifies that they're normally red, and they become something else. There's overlap in the descriptions of some of the things where I'm like, which thing does this mean? Is that a lip? No, it's just a specifically placed mole, not a lip lesion. I can see that by your stern expression. Still, please, tell me, how are you feeling? I'm all burning on the inside, like there's a stove going on. I'm a tough gal, though. I get the fevers from time to time. I pour boiling water over herbs, 2/3 to 1/3 before bed. By morning, I'm like a new woman. Grandma's recipe. But now the fevers are staying. How long have you had the fever? Since the week begun. I took my herbal tea before bed, like I do. Woke up in the morning, and my head was pounding like a hammer. I was burning worse than the night before. But it's nothing. Just have to bear it. You resorted to self-treatment then. Right, I should actually add fever to the list of symptoms. Before I forget. Fever's not a brain thing? That really fucks with me. Fever, circulatory system. Of course not. Unless you count the herbs. But herbs are no medicine. The best medicine is working till your muscles ache. Then washing, cooking, cleaning, and fetching water from the well. Clears any sickness like a charm. This time it didn't clear. Soon as I realized it was not going away, I came here. Surprisingly capitalist vibe of like, illness is a moral failing. You need to go and clear yourself out in this like weird pseudo like Christian capitalist mess thing of like, because both exploit the idea at times. The idea like you just need to work harder and it'll purge the sickness from you from all the sweat and toil. Working when you're sick is a dangerous habit. I really don't recommend it. I'm a tough gal, you know. You may be tough, but as you're working and fetching water, you can infect others. Did you consider it? Just give me a pill and I'll be off. Lots of work to do. Everyone wants a pill. Please step behind the curtain. I'm going to examine you first. Small red spots in huge numbers. Small red spots in huge numbers. Does that suggest insect bites specifically? Pinpoint redness of intense color and small size in large quantities. Essentially. They never tell you if it's swelling or not, so it's hard to specify if it's one thing or the other there. But yeah, redness just refers to like redness, not like spots necessarily. I'm specifying that there's points. Oh, multiple small swellings in the skin resembling speckles. Besides red, it can be black or green. Different types indicate different diseases. So speckles and bites. I really would like to ask the Bachelor question sometimes. Like, yo, bro. Is it swelling or not? Bro. You're the doctor. I can only do this through you. And the differential diagnosis between these two really similar descriptions is whether or not they're swelling. It even says, yes, check for swelling to tell if it's one or the other. Tell me if it's swelling or not. Fucking tell me. I can't ask him. It's like, it's funny because narratively in the game, you're playing as the bachelor being frustrated by how uncooperative the patients are in his questioning. But like, I constantly want to ask him really basic questions that he just will not give me answers to. Because that's just how the game's set up. And I'm just like, is there swelling or not? That's the important question here. You're not giving me the important information, man. Red spots. I'll just have to mark both of them, right? Then I can try to ask them, hopefully. It's everywhere. It's maybe a rash. Would be nice if they mention if it's, you know, swelling or not, because that's how you tell them apart. Otherwise, the descriptions are basically identical. Except for that they can be different colors, which seems to never happen, but... Oh, ulcers on the hands. The thing always says not to be confused with mechanical damage. Meanwhile, we know that she's working hard, and they're both in the same spot on both hands. That makes me think that it's mechanical damage, not ulcers. But I don't know if you can tell at a glance which one's which. So I was just asking her about it. It's weird staying at the hospital idling around. I'm not used to this at all. You are participating, even if not actively. You're helping me create the vaccine, helping the town survive another day. So this is true then. I got the sand pest and didn't notice it because I was sick with something else? Yes, I'm really sorry. Well, must have been fated. The last outbreak spared me, but my time has come. At least I'll be with my husband and cuddle my baby boy in the hereafter. He would have been 5, going on 6 now. Oof. You lost your husband and your child in the last plague 5 years ago? I am sorry for your loss. If the previous outbreak of the plague took your husband and son, then you must understand how important it is to find a cure. Will you answer some questions? Yeah, they didn't add any markers to here on their own. Am I on the right? Let's just clear all the little waypoints. There we go. Yeah, nothing here. I will. But I'm not very good at chatting. Is this rot on your hands? You mean this? Haven't you seen a working girl's hands? When you slave away at the factory and then at home, day and night, that's what your hands look like. Damn, you should bandage them or something. What? Why were the ulcers... I don't understand. This game confuses the shit out of me. So I observed the ulcers earlier with Q, and that did not add ulcers to my clinical picture. Then I ask about them, and it gets explained as, nah, don't worry about the ulcers. Those are just me working my hands raw. And then the game is like, aha, it's part of her clinical picture. She has ulcers. And I'm like, what? The ulcers specifically say not to be confused with mechanical damage. Am I supposed to read the dialogue where the game just says, where to clearly say, yeah, those perfectly symmetrical wounds on my hands are from me working my ass off and not from a disease. And then the game is like, aha, it's a disease. Like, it being added here makes it feel like I'm supposed to include it. But the explanation was clearly the opposite, right? Am I supposed to think she's lying? Or am I supposed to know better somehow and think like, ah, actually you can't... Hands don't normally do that when you're working hard with blisters and whatnot. That it only happens when you have this ulcer disease. Like, I feel like the game is relying on me having a weird amount of outside knowledge that I don't have. And I don't think most people would have. Because like, what? Why would it add it to the clinical picture? You think it would add it to the clinical picture crossed out. Like, aha, it's not ulcers. Because she's fine. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. Like, I don't know how to interpret the fucking information I'm being given. How long have your eyes been this red? I don't get much sleep. That's why they're red. No time to lounge in bed. Not before, and especially not now. I don't think that's how that... I don't think lack of sleep makes your eyes red like that. I don't know. I know plenty of people that barely sleep. And I don't think their eyes do that, at least. What do you mean, especially not now? Any changes in your life? Everyone's lives are changing, Doctor, because of the goddamn plague. You sounded like you meant something more specific. I told you, I'm not good at word slinging. I guess I misled you. I'm afraid you'll have to idle around a bit more. I have an errand to run. Did I just get her home added to my map? I have an errand to run? What? What is he talking about? I don't know what my own character means in this game on a regular basis. There's no... Where do you live? I have an errand to run. What? Are they just adding it for color? Are they just being cute? But because it's actively misleading to me, the player, what is happening. Ulcers and red eyes are both added. So we're confirming ulcers and red eyes? But why isn't fever? I don't understand what the clinical picture means. In abstract, I understand what it means, maybe, but in the specific mechanics of this video game, I don't know what clinical picture means. What does stuff being listed here mean? Is it locked in for sure and definitely true? Because that's what I keep thinking it might mean, because it's written down by the game, like it's locked in. But like, I had rash and insect bites listed, and we didn't ask her about either of those? Also, the dialogues confirm that she had a fever. The whole intro is about her fever. Ah, the fever hasn't broken, so I've come in. Fever is not in the clinical picture? I feel like this could have been handled better. This whole system could have been just more clear in what it means and how it works and why things are added. Maybe even by having the clinical picture moments where they are added have a notification on the screen like, aha, added to the clinical picture. The way that like Phoenix Wright gains evidence and so on. But then like that just really calls into question all these moments where something should be part of the clinical picture, I think, like fever. And the game is just like, nah. We don't care about the fever. Like, why don't you care about the fever? It seems like it's a big deal. I'm gonna go with rash over insect bites. And thus rash is way better for oof. Rash is not in any of the top 3 up here. Let's see. Ulcer and red eyes and fever. Red eyes and ulcers never even show up in the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna remove ulcers because those are bullshit. Rash. Red eyes. Rash and red eyes also aren't diagnostic? They never happen in the same disease? Jesus. So ulcers and red eyes and rash and red eyes never appear in the same disease. Fever? Okay. Red eyes and fever show up in the same disease. How about ulcer? Ulcer does not narrow things down at all. Anemic vasculopathy. Infectious disease caused by microorganisms from steppe soil entering the bloodstream. It seems like it matches up with the work she does. Causes airborne transmission that are also reported, but require confirmation. The infection leads to anemia, which can manifest in patient pallor, muscle weakness, weight loss. Occasionally, patients may experience localized bleeding and hematomas. Acute cases display burst capillaries in the eyes and high fever. Peasant plowmen, grave diggers. So that matches up pretty well. At least some of that does. A lot of it doesn't. Measles. Highly infectious viral disease with a very high transmission rate. It's marked by fever, inflammation of mucous tissues, conjunctivitis, and skin rash. The Metropolitan Infectiousness Society suggests cattle as the virus source, but this theory doesn't have the unanimous support of the medical community. The body overcomes the disease, then immunity develops, preventing future infections. However, fatal outcomes are possible, especially for malnourished patients without access to proper treatment and care. Children and people spending time with children. She specifically doesn't have a child. So, anemic vasculopathy makes a lot of sense, and despite the mention of a errand to go on, I don't actually have an errand to go on. So I thought that when that dialogue popped up, I was going to get to check out her house and learn more about her, but I guess I don't get to. I don't have great diagnostic information, and I'm just going to see if I got lucky the first time, and then we'll try harder if I don't. But I have more patients to try for now. Isn't this our excellent doctor? A very good day to you. I'm infinitely happy that my health is now in your capable hands and that your keen mind will analyze my case most comprehensively. Something's up with your face. It's good skin. Those scales seems more like scratching. Lip lesions, redness around the nose, hearing impairment. Oh. Getting redness. I'm gonna go with itchy skin for now. Looks like they might have been scratching at their face. Doesn't seem like an ulcer. Could be itchy skin or eczema. I'm thrown off by this because with eczema, my primary cultural exposure to eczema is people itching their skin constantly. But itchy skin's a separate symptom from eczema, and I don't really know how to differentiate the two from each other in this game. Does he look like he's cracking? Not necessarily. But yeah, I don't know how to differentiate eczema from itchy skin, because my understanding is itchy skin is how you would describe eczema in real life, so that throws me off. A pleasure to treat such a courteous patient. Tell me, what brings you to the hospital? I work like a horse. Deliver this, sell that. My age is beginning to tell. My household expands, and I need to feed all those mouths. I have to work hard at the expense of my own health. Business never asks whether you are feeling well. Do you have any idea how busy I am? I'm sorry to hear this, but could you please be more specific? What are your complaints, health-wise? I have a sore throat. My joints are acting up. Not sure if this means anything, but my wife says I started eating less. I'm always busy, running around. It's no surprise I often skip lunch. Okay. That was bulimia described as that? Dystrophy. Dystrophy isn't necessarily eating less. Could be close. Loss of appetite. Never mind. There it is. Pretty clear. Sore throat. Joint pain. You are losing appetite then. Not sure if losing is the right word. When I come home, I'm so exhausted I cannot manage a single bite. Kids are used to finishing my lunch. It's for the better, actually. I've got so many mouths to feed. You have a lot of children. 2 of them. I can follow in your footsteps. Sometimes the burden seems too great. Suppliers, buyers, my family, everyone expects something from me. I simply have no time for lunch breaks. Hang on, you got me confused. Did you lose your appetite? Have you been giving your share to your children? What? Strange typos. Maybe I haven't lost it. As I said, my wife had noticed it, so I'm informing you. When did you get your sore throat? 5 days ago, probably. The air gets arid in the fall. Makes one thirsty. I was probably running around. Felt too hot and drank cold well water. No wonder my throat reacted. Happens. Only this time it's not going away. Drank well water is suspicious. That's the way to get sick. How are your joints acting up? I can bend, but I cannot straighten out for the pain. I must make money, but I'm creaking like an old cart. I wish the kids pulled their weight, but it's a lost cause. All they know is take. They never lifted a finger to earn a coin. Watch them be like 5-year-olds. You're like, what do you want, man? Very interesting, but I still not come to a certain conclusion. What do you mean? What am I supposed to do, doctor? My trade has come to a standstill. Stand still for a moment, too. Oops, I thought that was investigate. Please step behind the screen. Usually it's the top dialogue option, but this time I was... Oh. Rapid heartbeat. Rapid pulse. Alright, so what's up with the skin condition? Clearly heart problems. Working without rest can work you to death. Unhealthy thinness, of course. It says he regularly forgets to eat. A symptom or not? What is that? His back is peeling, but he didn't mention this complaint. Didn't notice how busy he is? Peeling is eczema, isn't it? Cornification and cracking. It specifically said peeling, which is eczema condition. His face is bloody, and I didn't get to ask him about that. Maybe I can ask about it in the follow-up now. I marked... Yeah, eczema was already marked. Nothing on his hands at all. Remarkable. Not even a slight comment about his arms and legs. Usually doesn't happen. Even if they're just like vaguely like, ugh, they seem unwell or whatever. Don't tell me I'm done for, doctor. If I am, just lie to me. Too early for that sort of talk. Let's go through some details. Ask away. Attention to detail matters in my business. In any business. Just remember that time is money, especially mine. I only have one question? Jesus Christ. Your pulse is rapid. How long have you had that for long? I'm working like a horse here, doctor. Of course my heart's struggling to keep up with the workload. It may have worsened a bit lately, I suppose. Didn't pay much attention. Well, shit. I forgot about this. They say he sold infected goods. Well, that's not very helpful. That's not even an observation. Could have been hitting Q on the other people. That affects things. Influenza, sore throat, loss of appetite, joint pain. Step dryness, sore throat, joint pain, rapid pulse. That would ignore loss of appetite, which is maybe a fake symptom. A natural focal fungal infection. Infection occurs through inhaling fungal spores present at steppe grass or as mold. The disease primarily develops in the lungs. Patients complain of shortness of breath and rapid heartbeat. Irritation of mucous membranes is observed as the throat soreness, manifested as joint pain and eye redness. In severe cases of intoxication, patients experience joint pain. It literally just said joint pain. Oh, that was throat pain. Okay, my bad. I was like, what? It's like, it already said throat pain. The throat pain and eye redness is up there. In severe cases, you get joint pain. Steatosis develops. The risk of fatality manifests if the case is advanced when the patient can't move on his own. Inhabitants of the steppe. That's steatosis? That is what it looks like. Uneven skin pigmentations observed, forming a pattern of dark toned spots resembling scales, separated by paler areas. That's ichthyosis. Not eczema, even though the peeling was mentioned. Can I ask about it now? Are you aware of the lesions on your back? That scaly patch? Yeah. Looks like a peeling sunburn. Which is strange. It ain't summer. I have a habit of working shirtless. I don't make a habit of working shirtless. Honestly, I have no idea how I managed to catch the sun. Okay, well that even leads more heavily towards step dryness. It's not eczema. What's with his face, though? Why does his face look like that? Skin redness? There it is. These spots on your face. Are they new? It's the steppe wind, Doctor. Harsh as a whip. There is nowhere to hide from it out there. Not in the house, not in the barn. All the way out to the horizon. The wind bit me, that's all. Oh, his eyes are red, actually. Hang on a minute. So he's one of the... So a lot of the hard workers like to just dismiss every single thing that happens. Like, nah, it's just... that's normal. Paradoxical thing where, like, I'm ill enough to come in here and ask for help, but also I don't think that any of my symptoms are real. The steppe, you say? Have you been trading with the steppe people? Can't trade with those who ain't got nothing. No, Doctor, the steppe folk bring no profit, but they helped me while I laid a shipment. I owe them greatly for that. Helped you? How? With this quarantine mess. I was on my way back from Nizhny on a heavy load when they stopped the trains. I had to get off in the middle of nowhere with all my cargo. So, I paid some steppe folk to be my porters and guides. I would never have found my way home without them. Would you say you felt worse after the trip to the steppe? Of course I did. I'm tired as a dog. But I couldn't just abandon the supplies. It's been years since I slept under the open sky, face pressed in the grass. How do they live like that? Face pressed into the grass. That is interesting. Ain't nothing interesting about that, Doctor, or pleasant. Can't recommend it to anyone. And the grass was no good. Not exactly dead, but moldy or something. There we go. Did my best to deliver the cargo. If I had just dropped it, I wouldn't have had to sleep on the ground. Too many symptoms. This can't be right. Something needs to be ruled out. Well, it's the mold one. Fungal infection, blah blah blah, mold. It is this one. Oopsie. It might be that if you just keep marking different symptoms, you keep getting new dialogue options, and you can get into a corner where they practically just explain what the disease is to you like that. That's wild. Just a combination of, but it does rely on you reading certain things and noticing like the mold comment and so on. It can be a very satisfying system, much akin to stuff like the Ace Attorney games and so on. It's also just like really easy for it to just be like, what the fuck do they want from me? Which is a relatable struggle in these games sometimes, where you're just like not getting the logic of the interaction. Merca. Oh, it's you, right? Probably. I could tell right away. So tall and important looking. And with such intelligent eyes. Toppy, stop daydreaming and say hello to the doctor. He came all the way from the capital to treat you. Hello. What's with this impression of a dying swan? Go on and thank the doctor for agreeing to treat you and speak up. Thank you, doctor. You're welcome. Let's get to it, shall we? I have a lot of patients to treat. Oh, we're sensible people. We know you're a busy man. And I know a thing or two about medicine, too. My second cousin's nephew is training to be a nurse in the capital. I visited him 3 times, saw the whole city. His name is Mikey Longlife. Maybe you know him. What? Let me ask again. What seems to be the issue? A mother's heart knows no rest. It aches and aches. It feels like it's about to leap right out of my chest. Would you describe your pain as searing? Does it radiate to your shoulder blade? Any nausea or sweating? What? No, doctor, it's my daughter who's sick. That's why I brought her to you. Come on, Toppy, say something. Can't you see you're causing confusion? Don't just stand there. Talk to the good doctor. I don't feel well. My head's heavy. Like lead. Is that a thing I can diagnose? I don't think so. I don't think they ever describe headaches as a heavy head. Speak up, silly. She has a fever, doctor. Okay, I hope that's true. It just won't go away. And her head hurts. And she's become weak like a rag doll. She's never been very energetic, but as you can see, but now she's all limbed like a noodle. She's never been energetic, as you can see. No, I can't see. She's here because she's sick. I don't know what she's normally like. It sounds like muscle weakness. Is that a circulatory thing? Was muscle weakness separate from weakness? Did I imagine that? I think it's just that. I think it's just that weakness, right? Who's the patient here? Who are you? Of course it's her. Go on, Toppy, say something. It's me. It's me, doctor. Then why are you speaking for her? Alright, here's what we're going to do. Why don't you wait over there while Toppy and I talk? What do you mean wait over there? Don't you see this silly girl can't string two words together? I do. Don't worry. I'll handle this. Won't Mother scold me? For what? If I say it wrong. We are talking about what you feel. I can only guess, but you live it. No one knows your sensations better than you do. I always speak out of turn. I do everything wrong. Are those your mother's words? You surprise me. Even the children in this town rush to be their own masters. Have you not heard of the Republic at the Polyhedron? Yet you are a grown woman content to let your mother do your thinking. See? You say so too. Mother's right. I'm always out of place. Do you never question her? If she told you to jump off a roof, would you? That's a mean thing to say. Does the question make you nervous? Don't ask me mean questions, Doctor. Mother is always right. She knows best. Why wouldn't I listen to her? If you say so, but I advise you to pause for thought before leaping off the roof. Now, remind me of your symptoms. My head is hurting, buzzing. I feel so weak. I just want to lie down and never move. How long have you felt this way? Mother noticed it the other day. I'm asking when you noticed it. It is your head, is it not? A week or so, I think. You shouldn't listen to me, Doctor. I'm usually wrong. Eyes on me. Follow my finger. Have you run a fever? Yes. Mother made soup and cold compresses, but it didn't help. It could be a simple seasonal cold. Is the fever spiking? I'm not sure. What if I'm mistaken? You know what you feel better than anyone. You can't be mistaken about it. Never mind. Step behind the screen. I need to examine you. Speaking as somebody whose most common trip to the doctor is, it turned out to be, it's nothing. Because I probably have anxiety and whatnot. You can be wrong about what you're feeling. That's very frustrating, but yeah. Every time I go to the doctor, I'm always worried that I'm wasting their time, which is really frustrating. Small red spots, allergies, bites, hygiene problems. I'm gonna go with bites. Nothing on the arms. No. Didn't learn much there besides the bites bit, really. Oh, insect bites, weakness, and fever all add up to tularemia. An infectious disease transmitted through food, contact with rodents, and insect bites. The onset is sudden, with fever, weakness, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and headache. Hallucinations are observed in some patients. Ulcers and/or redness then appear on the skin. Could also affect the eyes. Moderate mortality risk if left untreated. Immunity is permanent for recovered individuals, not contagious from person to person. Risk groups are impoverished people and inhabitants of the steppe. Let's see. Oh, yeah, headache is in there. Headache is there, but fever is there. Got it. Right, I was kind of conflating the two in my head for a second there. Looking for fever in there. Well, anyway. You're better off talking to Mother, because I might say something wrong again. She'll tell you how it is. Be that as it may, I need to question you without your mother present. You can ask, but what good will my answers be? I'm stupid. You have a rash on your back. Maybe bite marks, small red spots. I can't quite tell what they are. I don't know. Were you bitten? Is it some kind of allergic reaction? Or are they ordinary pimples? Do they hurt, perhaps? Do they itch? How should I know, Doctor? Mother is usually the one figuring things out. Your family dynamics are horrifying. Can't you hear what your own body is telling you? Doesn't matter what I hear. The decisions are not up to me anyway. Were there any times where you felt worse over this past week? No. Only when Mother took me out at night. She said it's nothing. That's how it should be. She took you out at night? What does that mean? Where'd she take you? Oh, you're not supposed to know. Mother will definitely scold me for that. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm so stupid. Are you really more worried about your mother than your illness? Please stop asking. I won't say another word about it. Your mother seems to be in good health. Is anyone else in the household ill? It's just the three of us. Mother, my younger sister, and I. Mother says everyone's healthy, except my useless self. That disease doesn't pass from person to person. So it's not highly contagious. I don't know what that means. Maybe you should talk to Mother after all. She knows all kinds of illnesses. I can see we're not getting anywhere with this conversation. Alright, wait here with your mother and I will go take a look at your household. Maybe that will clear things up. I mean, I always appreciate being able to get some narrative context and checking out somebody's house. So that'll be neat. But I think I already solved it. But we'll find out for sure. Doesn't hurt to try to find out some more. Granted, I can just loop. It is an awkward mechanical implementation that it is more efficient, probably, to just loop and try and guess something else than it is to do the actual investigation. But, like, quest content is what I'm playing the game for. That's why I'm here. So I'm going to do it.